Hey everyone, today we're going to be doing a sushi charm bracelet with different things that go along with sushi, like chopsticks, wasabi, stuff like that. Hope you enjoy. Let's get started. Alright, today for this project you're going to need, for the salmon part of the sushi, you're going to need orange and red. You're going to mix those together and then half it. Take half and mix it with white and half and mix it with translucent. For the rice, you're going to need white, obviously. For the nori, you're going to need green and black, a darker green. For the wasabi, a light green, almost neon-y color. And for the chopsticks, translucent. Okay, so I've flattened them into equal-sized rectangles, like this. They don't have to be completely perfect because sushi is food and it's not perfect, obviously. So just about the same size. Alright, we're going to start to make a sushi cane. So you're just going to stack them on top of each other and just press down. Alright, you're going to cut those two rectangles in half while they're stacked together. And then you're going to stack it again, making sure you're alternating pink, red, pink, red. You do that 2 more times until you have 8 layers of each color. So you have 8 stripes of pink and 8 stripes of red. And it's okay if it gets messed up like this one, because once again, it's sushi. It's not going to be perfect. Now I've flattened it a little bit. Well, really, I actually stretched it so it stays as tall as possible. So it's going to look like this. Then you're going to slice 2 pretty thick pieces because you're going to be flattening this. Alright, I've cut the 2 thick pieces and I've flattened them out. And then I slightly tilted each one, so I curved the ends like this. And you want to get the end that obviously looks better, like these are the backs of mine, and then the fronts. So you can see they look a lot better. After you finish all the sushi pieces, you're going to want to wash your hands and your tile or whatever you're working on, because you don't want the red to get in with the white, because we're going to do the rice next. Alright, I got a little ball of white, and I'm going to divide it in half, and then start shaping it into little rice pieces for the sushi. Alright, I've shaped the white rice and layered the salmon on top, so it's nice and clean. Alright, to make the seaweed to wrap around, we're going to want to take black and green and just mix them together very well. Alright, so I mixed the green and the black, and then I rolled it into a really thin snake, and then I sent it through the pasta machine at a 2, and that's really thin for me, because my 1 shreds the clay. And if you don't have a pasta machine, you can use a rolling pin or a brayer, and just make sure you get it really, really thin like this. And now you're going to take the really thin strip of seaweed, and you're just going to want to wrap it around the sushi pieces. Alright, so I've wrapped the black around the salmon pieces. Well, it's the seaweed color. And you want to make sure you get your ends underneath, obviously, so it doesn't show. And what you're going to want to do is actually flatten it around the corners and just make sure it fits into all the little nooks and crannies of it. Now, because I'm going to make little individual charms for a charm bracelet for these, I made a big wasabi dollop, and I just swirled the green. And to give me enough area to press a finding into, I'm going to take another little thing of green and just put it inside the dollop, just right in there. Now to make little chopstick charms, they're not actually going to be made out of clay. since I don't have toothpicks, I have bamboo skewers, and I'm going to cut equal pieces, and I'm going to take a little bit of clay to bind them together, and that will also give me the surface area to press a finding into so I can hang it from a bracelet. Alright, so I've scored and cut 2 little chopsticks out, and now I'm going to use this black to bind them together, and after they're done baking I'm going to super glue them together anyway, but this is going to give me enough surface area to press a finding into so I can hang it from a bracelet. Alright, so I've rolled this black out to a pretty thin snake, and I'm going to send it through at a 6. To give you an idea, my pasta machine, a 9 is the thickest and a 1 is the thinnest, so you can figure that out on yours. Once again, you can also use a rolling pin or a brayer. It's just going to take you a little bit longer and it won't be as perfect. And you're going to keep running it through the pasta machine progressively until you get down to a 2, which is very thin on them. Now that I've got it to a 2, I'm going to want to slice it off so it's not as wide. I'm going to slice off the top and the bottom. Alright, now that I've wrapped the piece of black around the 2 chopsticks, which is kind of, there's no right or wrong way to do it, because you're going to have to squish it in and they might fall out. It's just a trial and error process. And now I'm going to actually, instead of making findings right away, I don't have head pins, so I stuck a piece of wire down into it, and I'm actually going to bake it this way. So when it comes out of the oven, I'm going to do a wrapped loop around it, and I'll show you that. If you were to have a head pin, you would string it from the bottom and make sure the flat part is right against the bottom, and you would do it just like this, and then wait till it comes out of the oven to do the wire wrapping. To show you how versatile this whole chopstick thing is, you can also wrap translucent around it, like this other one. Instead of the black, you can really do any color. Alright, all my things just came out of the oven. They're nice and warm. I also, earlier, had messed up making my sushi, the pink part. So I kind of just smooshed it all together and rolled it into a snake, and it's all funky looking. And my camera's not good enough, you won't be able to see the pattern very well. But it created a really cool candy pattern. Looks kind of like a peppermint almost. It's really cool, and I'm going to keep it just like the jelly roll cane that we made for whipped cream pies and stuff for decoration. But yeah, I sliced some pieces like that. My blade's not very sharp, so they ended up in little half circles. But yeah, so if you make a mistake, you can still use that clay for something. Really, on any clay that you're using 2 colors, you can make a really neat pattern. So, alright, first of all, you're going to want to put a dotted super glue over the piece of wire right where it meets the clay, because I don't have head pins. You can see there's a little hole of space, and the wire just pops right out. And if you're going to be wearing it as a charm, you don't want it falling off. So just add a small dot of super glue, and it doesn't have to necessarily dry for 24 hours. Like mine is instant crazy glue. It dries in about 5 to 10 minutes. And don't touch it either while it's drying. Mine's safety, it's skin guard, so it doesn't dry immediately on skin, but it will bond your skin if you don't wash it off soon. So do that to all your pieces. Alright, to make the wrapped loop that you need to make a charm out of these things, you're going to want to take your pliers, and I've already done this step, but you're going to want to pinch pretty close to the bottom leave about 1/8 of an inch, and wrap the wire around your pliers to make a loop like here, and make sure this is sticking out at a 90-degree angle. What you're going to want to do is take your pliers and pinch onto that loop like that, and then you want to wrap in the direction that the wire is already going in the loop, and wrap 2 or 3 times around, and that will give it a clean, finished, professional look. And then you're going to want to, my pliers have a wire cut around them already, and you're just gonna want to clip the end as close as you can get it. And then you take that end, because you don't want it sticking out obviously, and you just pinch it kind of like so nothing's sticking out, and it's nice and wrapped and professional looking, and it just looks all around clean. And then you're going to want to do that to the rest of your charms. Alright, all the pieces are finished. They have their wire wrapped and they've been glazed. We have our 2 pieces of sushi, our little dollop of wasabi, our chopsticks, and a soy sauce bottle. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and especially request. I want to know what you guys want me to do, tutorials, stuff like that. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.